When their plane crashes in the wilderness, a girls' soccer team does whatever it takes to survive. As adults, they reckon with their brutal decisions. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dylan, and I love cinema. And on this channel, we talk about all things cinema. And today we are going over a show that premiered in 2021, Yellowjackets. Now, I'm going to try and do this without spoilers. There's not going to be like any major spoilers, but we're primarily going over like the setting and what happens and things that happen without specific details. So it's pretty much the first season. I'm not saying everything that I talk about is first season, but I want you to watch the show yourself, but I'm also just going to lay it out for you, like kind of what it is. And if this sounds interesting and you like hearing about movies, TV shows, all that, if you could, I would like you to hit the subscribe button, and I also would like you to comment down below and tell me your favorite TV show. So without further ado, let's get into Yellowjackets. So Yellowjackets is one of those shows that kind of flips back and forth between the present and the past. So present day, it primarily follows four of the girls, and it's 25 years later. So it flips back and forth. So you see all the things that they did as kids in like bits, but you also see all the things that's happening present day in bits. So like half the episode's old, half the episode's new. It's pretty interesting. It takes a little bit to get used to, and also need to lay out kind of what you're going to be seeing in the show. There's violence, there's language, there's gore, there's some nudity, and there's some sex scenes. So it's rated TVMA. So if you're gonna watch it, just know those things are gonna be happening. Also, it's labeled as a horror show. I think it's more like a thriller, in my opinion. But it's still a really good watch. And right now, there are 3 seasons out. And I believe they're gonna be making more. So now would be the time to catch up with it. I don't think they're gonna start resuming filming till 2026, is what it said. So in present day, we are following 4 of the girls. Shauna, Taisha, Natalie, and Misty. Shauna is a housewife. She has a husband and a daughter. Taisha is running for Congress, and she has a wife and a kid. Natalie is unemployed, just got out of rehab. She's in and out of rehab. It goes into that. She does drugs. And Misty is a nurse. So basically you just follow their stories. They're all sorts of messed up, and you'll figure out why when you watch the show, because the things they engage in out there, not good. They do things like the cannibalism. That's a slight spoiler. There's some cannibalism. There's another little trigger warning for you, I guess. If you're not into that, that's fine. Understandable. I wouldn't want to see people eat their friends too. I guess I kind of did because I watched it, but still. You know, if you want to avoid that, that's fine. And a little bit of a backstory of why they were even on the plane in the first place. They are a women's soccer team, and they were like really good. Like they swept everybody. They won state, and they're going to nationals. So they're going to nationals, and sometime on their way, the plane just malfunctions and they crash. Some people die, you know, in plane crashes. I believe both the pilots don't make it, but you never meet them. They're not important characters. I'm not going to tell you if any other characters, you know, don't make it. And just like in present day, you can assume whatever you want, but I'm going to tell you right now, not all of them die in the wilderness, but I will tell you some characters do. And some characters might get introduced later on. I don't know. You know? I don't know. If you like some characters as kids and you're like, man, it sucks that you don't ever see them in present day, maybe you do. I don't know. You'd have to watch it. But basically, they're out in the woods. They're surviving. The food's scarce. Winter comes. Bad things happen. It is all women out there except for 3 dudes. And there also seems to be some kind of like looming entity. I'm not going to get into details, but something supernatural's going on out there. That's the best way I can describe that without telling you. And it has been affecting Taisha specifically since she was a little kid. So she's like 2 people. He has like another personality that does like crazy things. Not gonna get into details, but just know it's kind of like, yikes. It does some crazy things. Also, not sure how much you care about it, but it does take place whenever they were kids and whenever they crash in 1990, and then present day 25 years later. So that's the basic premise of the whole two timelines thing. And something I think it also does really well is it builds characters really well, both in present day and past, which obviously it's more of like the four main characters that you see in present day. But you get to learn a lot about them, both present and past, and you even get to learn a lot about the other characters that aren't as focused on, like, building stories and characters. They did very, very well. And you also learn really quick, all these characters are flawed. I mean, even before they get out into the wilderness, there's a lot of drama going behind the scenes. I'll tell you one thing, one character is sleeping with the other character's boyfriend before they even go. Some of them were already doing drugs. Some of them were, just high school stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of what they did. So, a lot of these flaws get exposed pretty heavily out in the wilderness. Some of them aren't super well equipped to deal with the wilderness. Some of them were on living in rich lifestyles and they didn't ever have to do stuff like work. So some of them are pretty weak out there, some of them are stronger. And also it's not like constant gore and murder and just like over the top stuff. It's just kind of like dread. It just builds over time and things happen on the way. It's just like a long mysterious story. It's not like every day one of the people get gutted in front of everybody and they're like, time to feast. Like, that's not how that works. It isn't like they aren't like terrible cannibals, I guess I should say. Like, it isn't like their everyday meal would be the best way I could describe that. Also, not sure how much you would care about good music, but there are some absolute bangers that play during the show. And I'm also sorry it feels like I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I'm really just trying to tell you all about it, but not tell you all about it. And it's kind of difficult to do, but it's a really good show, and I really think you should watch it. But the Yellowjackets is just like, it's a dark, it's a mysterious, it's drama. I mean, it's a bunch of teenage girls stuck in the middle of the wilderness. I mean, what more would you expect? There's drama, there's betrayal. There kind of turns into a little bit of a cult thing a little bit. Not gonna go too far into that, but just know there's wild animals out there. You know, it feels like the wilderness is a character itself, just actively coming at them and making their lives harder. It's just a very, very interesting show. If you like thrillers / horror things, I think it's for you. Kind of like a darker, edgier, like Lost in my opinion, which I'm not a big fan of Lost, but this show was really good. But no, I think the actors did a really good job. The way they act in like modern day, you can just tell they are so messed up. Like, the acting is phenomenal, the setting is phenomenal, the storyline is phenomenal. I like that it slow drips you information throughout the show just about all the terrible things that happened out there. And also, season 3 is not the ending. And they greenlit for another one to be made, and I believe they're aiming for 5 seasons total. So now would be the time to like catch up, watch what there is, and just wait. Or you can watch it all whenever it comes out. If you want to do that, I advise you go watch it now. It's a banger. No, Yellowjackets is a very unique show, and I'm very glad I watched it. And I want you guys to tell me what I should cover next. I have a couple ideas. I recently watched The Umbrella Academy, finally. I missed all that hype, but I finally watched it, and I got some thoughts on it. So if you guys want to hear me talk about that, just let me know. If you want me to watch a different show and go over it, let me know. I'm down to watch movies. I'm down to watch TV shows. As it turns out, I'll cater to the audience. So just let me know down below what you want to watch, and I appreciate you watching this video.